What is up, everybody? You know, I always start this show off by showing love to those companies who help make this podcast possible. First is my friend over at HVAC Tactical, Mr. Ben Poole. We all know about his amazing clothing. I'm actually wearing one of his shirts right now, which I do very often. I wear his stuff all the time, and not even just because he's my friend, because the stuff he makes is absolutely awesome. It's of the highest quality, and I rather rock and support my friends and fellow tradesmen than these other brands. And I'm not saying I don't wear Under Armour and Nike. I'd be lying to you, but I like to support the industry, and I love wearing his clothes. So check that out. But I'm actually going to talk about the HVAC Tactical Awards. As many of you know, as the videos have been posted around social media, everybody else has been sharing theirs, and it's the same video, so I haven't shared it yet. I will shortly. The one that a bunch of us got together with AHR and made. But AHR is coming. So Chicago, January 22nd to the 24th. The day before that, it is the Blue Collar Goes Black Tie event, as well the HVAC Tactical Award Show. I understand that everybody cannot make it to the event live. I highly suggest, if you can, to do so. Get a ticket. It's an amazing time. You will never, ever forget it. If you can't, you can watch it online. So if you cannot go live, go buy one of the I don't know if they sell out for that. I'm not sure. But I would say if you can't make it, go buy your pass to stream it. Because it is absolutely awesome. You know, you have some of the award winners from, let's see, that's 2023. Oh, who's that guy? Who is that guy? Oh, but yeah, it's an amazing time. I cannot wait to see who wins this year. Meeting a bunch of amazing people all in one place. It is a super, super awesome time. So get your ticket to the HVAC Tactical Award live stream. If you can't make it live, if you're going live, that's awesome. I will be there myself. We will see you. Otherwise, go buy some HVAC Tactical merch and support somebody in the industry. Next, you know who it is, man. You know who it is. And oh, why does this look different? Oh, man. They done changed it on me. I haven't even seen it. It's my friends over at Bluon. And guys, I know I talk about them every week, and I know people are like, we know that Gil loves Bluon and they're a sponsor and blah, blah, blah. But I just want you to step back for a second and really think about it, and just think about all the things they offer to people, whether you need those services or not. Maybe I know a lot of guys that I talk to that you guys are really good techs, or you're in the commercial or industrial field, and you don't necessarily need some of these things. But let's be honest, there's a lot of new people coming in the trades. And I hate to say this, there's a lot of guys out there that don't know what the fuck they're doing. They haven't been properly trained. And that is where Bluon can pick up the fucking weight. It is something there to help people with things that they don't know. Whether it's the manuals, it's the tech support, and then the efficiency as far as being able to order parts and stuff like that. I've been talking to Bluon because I get it. I understand some of you don't make those decisions. You can't control where you get parts from. You can't control where you buy them from. I understand that. But I've also had a lot of people reach out to me and say, hey, if I could use their tech support, I'd be willing to pay a monthly fee to have access to it. If that is something that you would be interested in doing because your company does not buy parts and you can't use the Bluon app, let me know. Because the more people that I have that would be willing to do that, maybe I can get them as something they can do, you know, $4.99 a month or something cheap to have some of the best tech support that's on the market. So let me know if that's something. I've had literally a lot of people reach out to me, but the more people that do, I can take that to them. All right. That being said, guys, remember Bluon is upgrading the HVAC industry. And with that, let's get on to the motherfucking show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States. And thank you to all those men and women who defend it.
Welcome to the #1 rated HVAC podcast. If you're looking to grow in the HVAC industry, then you're in the right spot. Blue collar people talking about blue collar shit. Let's get better together. So turn up the volume, buckle your seatbelt, and let's welcome your host, Gil KV Jr.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. I'm your host, Gil KV Jr. A great show for you tonight, as always, trying to get back to it. Like I said before, man, I know that I had quite a few guests. I'll be honest with you. Some of them turned out better than others. And I know some of them were more for like managers and business related. And 90% of my audience is technicians. I think that I did a very good job, or even with the guests, of getting some of them to be more technical. Like it benefited the tech. Like I think Ian, the HR guy, that we had a lot of cool stuff we talked about, like from a technician's point of view. The trade jobs. There was a couple of them that I think that were really, really good. Just so a lot of you know, tonight was supposed to be, our guest was supposed to be Miss HVAC chick Jennifer, and she couldn't make it. So first and foremost, real fast, I want to say that my heart goes out to her and her family for the loss of her mother. Obviously, what I'm going through, my mom, I can only imagine. But Jen is just an awesome chick. I'm so glad to become friends with her. And my thoughts, heart, and prayers go out to her and her family. All right. So we'll get her scheduled to come back on when she's ready to do so. She knows she always has an open invitation on here, but she was supposed to be the guest tonight. But I was going to do this solo, and I'm talking about some more technical things tonight, but I'm not solo. I have a fan favorite. Well, some people said he was an asshole, but I was like, that's not true. He's a good guy. Just give him a chance. Like, just kidding. I have Mr. Ryan Grimes.
Woo, baby, let's go.
Yeah, he's in here wearing cut-off shirts and shit. I'm like, bro, what are we doing? We got a dress code on HVAC Uncensored.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, what's up, my man?
Baltimore Showdown, hon.
Yeah. If you guys didn't see my post, Ryan, treats me like a high-class hoe. He's a good boss. Took me out to fucking Ramsey Steakhouse, and then we went to see Stavros. What's his last name? Hills.
That's, my gosh.
Ruckus?
Stravis. Yeah.
Yeah, the comedian from Baltimore. And
he's got two last names, man. I don't know.
Yeah. And it was absolutely, oh my God, it was so funny. My face hurt when I left. We were laughing so hard, but it was a really, really, really good time. Real fast, just to say hello to some people. Obviously, Rookie, my man Rookie, my brother from another mother is always here. What is up, bro? Mr. Nathan Christensen is in here, or Christian is in here. I know I saw Jake the Snake, Mr. Kraus. What is up? What is up? Mr. Jason Johnson is in the house. We had Mr. Brian Sanders. So cool. I'm glad we got some people in here. That is absolutely awesome. Yeah, I think I got everybody. If I missed you, I apologize.
Right.
But first and foremost, especially all the people in blue, my moderators, I want you guys to know that I would love to have you guys as guests. I've been asking Rookie for 5 years now, or however long it's been, to come on and do the show. And I know he's working and sometimes he can't, but I want all of you guys to know. So Jason, Scott, all of you guys, you are more than welcome to come on and be guests, man. I'd love to have you guys on and talk with you. So if that's something you want to do, then let me know. Jason Johnson said, I'd rock that Beltway hat. Yeah. So I have the black back, and then we have the white back as well. Fuck it, I'm down. All right. Yeah. Let me know.
All right, Gil, what are we talking about today, dog?
Hey. I control the pace of this show. Don't you fucking rush me. All right. I'm the boss on here, motherfucker. Okay.
Hey, man, I'm sorry. I didn't know if you wanted me to talk. I have an obligation to perform,
I got a timer over here with minutes, and you just used them up. God damn it. It's like, no, guys, to be honest, a topic that I want to talk about tonight. First thing, and Ryan knows this, I want to give praise to our service team because they're fucking rock stars. We had a meeting today. It was an awesome meeting, and those guys went out and they fucking drive each other. And it was $1,900 ticket, $2,000 ticket, $3,000 ticket. And in our service group chat, they're just, supporting each other at the same time, driving each other. And that's fucking amazing. So if any of those guys listen to this, they tell me I pop up in their feeds too much. So hopefully they see this. But let's see. Gil, all farts are supposed to have lumps. Yeah, before I came down here, I was getting a little worried out. Jason Johnson said, "We're off the clock, Ryan. Chill out, big dog." These guys will bust your balls.
0 days, dog.
Yeah, you've been on here long enough. They'll start busting your balls. He said, "I get 3K tickets too. Then I get arrested." But what I want to talk about is like heating basics, because I know maybe not you Florida and some of you Texas boys aren't getting into heat yet. It's probably still 95 degrees. But the rest of us that live in the rest of the world should be getting into heating. And I think there's a lot of basic things that some people don't think about. Most of the guys in the chat, I know are good techs, but there's some things that people miss over, especially when it comes to maintenances, because I get the monotony of them, or some of the things to look for. So I'll let you shoot, Ryan. You can just pick one thing. What is one thing that you think a guy out there, when it comes to heating season, misses, doesn't do correctly, common problem, wherever you want to take it?
Yeah. Good thing about winter is you don't have to wear deodorant as much, because you don't sweat as much. So that's one thing. Yeah, you need more food. You're wearing more clothes. You know what I mean? So you don't look as fat. That's another good thing.
Apparently you wear cutoff shirts too.
And you got so many pockets. That's a good and a bad thing. You know what I mean? Because then you lose tools, and then you set your jacket on the ground. You can't find your cell phone for 3 days, and then you owe girl child support. Winter's a great thing, man.
It is. But some people don't realize, depending on how long your heating season is, that you can have just as good as winters if you have cold winters that you do summers. So how many of you out there are doing heating maintenances right now? Whether it's residential, commercial, maintenance is still a thing. How many of you out there are doing them? It's funny you say carrier heat exchangers. So they are an issue, but that's one of the tips that I was going to bring up, because one thing that I found out over the years, and it's funny because I actually found out with carrier units, is when you have these 90% furnaces and you don't even got to check the heat exchanger. If you touch the top of a furnace and it is so hot that you can't hold your hand there, your secondary heat exchanger's clogged. That's just... Someone was coming in my fucking studio. I was going to fuck somebody out. All right, we're doing them fall PMs right now, doing a month and a half. All right, let me ask you this. Some of you guys, how long are you on your PMs?
Oh, why the answers are flooding in. To answer legitimately about your first question, I won't be a jerk this entire podcast. One thing I think is really good for the heating and the maintenance season alone is reviews. Get those reviews coming in, because the more reviews you get coming in, and I mean, you really just tell the customer, hey, what was your favorite part about today? And then be like, great, would you mind writing that on Google? Yeah, great. Let me show you how to do it. Take your phone out, and then you guide them through on how to do it. And the question, what was your favorite thing, prefaces them on what to say. So the reason why reviews are so good is not for the owner, but it really gives back to the technician, because the better the reviews on the company, the more legit that company looks, which is going to bring in a better client base. So summertime, you're going to notice the more reviews your company gets, the better the customers get. And I've definitely have seen that over time. So don't look at maintenance season as a waste. You can look at it as like, oh, I'm going to build up for next summer to have really good clients, because no one wants to deal with that guy. It's cheap. Oh, the capacitors, $300. Oh my gosh.
Thank God this is uncensored, because I knew where you were going with that. So certain people.
Whoa. I didn't say certain people. I'm just saying,
I did.
In general, the cheapos call the people who look cheap online. You look cheap online if you got low reviews. It's 2023, brother. Come on.
And he's very true. So some of you guys might not think of that, but when you do a very good job, that 5-star review should be easy. They're more than willing to give it to you. So some of you saying, so Brian Sanders, is that residential when you're saying 2.5, 3 hours? I know Jason is commercial, and obviously Chiller's 8 to 12. So I'll be honest. We like the guys to stay from an hour to an hour and a half on commercial. Okay, an hour to an hour and a half on residential maintenances. 45 minutes is the absolute minimum, but I'll be honest, that is like our new install plans that we just installed the system, and even those, they should be there for 45 minutes. 1 to 2 hours resi, Tom. I like that. That's good. Because the sad part is what you have to realize is there's too many companies out there doing bullshit fucking maintenance. 1 to 2 hours per system. Yes. There's too many guys out there doing bullshit maintenance. And so some customers have lost the vision or the value of what maintenance should be. Because let's be honest, maintenance done right will make their system last longer. That's just the cold hard facts. But these guys that go in and temperature rise, temperature split, oh, good, turn it on. Alrighty then. Hey, Mrs. Smith, everything looks good. And you leave and you wonder why they don't renew. All right. So some of you, that could be the difference whether you work in the shoulder season or not. So just something to think about. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. And, the 45 minutes, the hour and a half, not all of it, it's looking at the system. Some of it's just getting to know the dog's name, where they went on vacation this year, building that relationship. So that way, when they need a replacement, they say, oh, Mo comes and does my maintenance every year. Susie, you need to call Beltway and ask for Mo and have him come look at your broken AC. Mo comes in, boom, you need a new one, boom, commission made, and then it's a good thing. So, spend some time getting to know the people, because they won't renew because either they think you didn't do a good job, or they won't renew because you failed to make yourself go up the branding ladder of, this is a company I use to, like, this is a company I belong to. And that's a great opportunity you have on a maintenance. And maintenance people are maintenance people. People love having maintenance done, and that's another thing I learned over a little bit of time. Yeah.
Like me and Ryan talked about, the same people that regularly do maintenance on their HVAC are the ones that get their oil changed every 3,000 miles. Like maintenance means something to them. Especially if you guys have ever sold a service plan and like the people get a discount the day they buy it. And the only reason they're buying it is because they get a discount that day. We were just talking about this. That's why I hate doing that, because those are the people that when you call when it's time to schedule maintenances, and they never answer the fucking phone, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, and on those 80% furnaces, you can be pulling the heat exchangers. Like if you tell your boss, "Hey, man, I want." If you're not confident you can pull a heat exchanger, once you do it once, you're like, "Oh, it wasn't that bad." The first time you do it, give yourself all day and ask your boss. Just be like, "Hey, can I get one maintenance today on an 80%er?" Go pull the heat exchanger out, set it on the ground. and talk to the customer about all the parts and how they work. And they're going to love you for it. And there's a lot of heat exchangers sold based off of it looking really, really bad. It may not be cracked, but it looks really bad. And if it is cracked, you're not sticking some dumb camera up there. The lazy cam is what I call it. You're actually showing somebody, hey, this is actually cracked, and you feel a lot better because you know for a fact it's done for. So that's another thing you can do on the heating side.
Yeah, no, and I was going to bring that up too. So one thing we do that our guys have to do, and I'll put it this way, I don't call it the lazy cam. I do think, I do agree with pulling it out, especially when it's 80%er. The time you're taking.
You got 4 kids, bro. You suck at pulling out.
Very true. I couldn't pull out of a, I couldn't pull out of a driveway. But yeah, pulling it out, man, it's just, not everybody does it, but the time you take with that camera and you got to find it and you're like, oh, it's a little tiny screen that's not really that great. We'd rather pull it out and show it to the customer. And I get it. Before I started taking out heat exchangers, it was like this big, horrible thing. Like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. It's going to take all day. Guys, I can pull a heat exchanger in 15 minutes and I can put it back in 20 minutes. When you do them a little bit, you get good out of them. You get the hang of it. And to be honest, if you're doing your maintenance properly, some of those things should be taken out anyway. I mean, do you take the inducer motor off and clean behind it? Make sure there's not gunk, back there. I mean, those little things are what are going to set yourself apart to do a really, really good job. And I get it. You can't pull all 90%ers. That's going to be a different animal. But 80%ers, like Ryan said, we get a lot of people that, and they call them TSPs, temperature stress points, where they look rough. And you're just honest with customers and like, oh man, is that cracked? No, it's not cracked. I mean, there's some spots that I would, worry about, some, spots that we have to keep an eye on. And customers are like, well, damn, I think I just want to, I'd rather be safe and replace it. And we'll have guys tell them like, hey, this furnace, like you don't have to replace it. They're like, nah, I'd rather just, be safe than sorry and get a new one. And that's their choice because they visually saw something. Especially when you have homeowners that system was put in when they bought the house, or they didn't have an emotional attachment to it because they didn't pay for it. So just something to think about. Go ahead. I was going to say, one of the other things that I see a lot is too many technicians, and it's with summertime too, is we assume somebody else did something. I tell not that they don't trust each other, the technicians, their colleagues and stuff like that, or the installers. Gas pressure, check it. I don't care if you checked it last time you were there. If you're like, oh, Steve was out here, man, he's a really good tech. I know Steve checked it. No, you don't. And even if he did, check it again. Make sure it's good. Maybe something happened since the last heating maintenance a fucking year ago. There was adjustment. A regulator got touched and it wasn't supposed to. Don't assume. Check those things. I can't tell you how many times that laziness is what ruins somebody's system because guys and girls that just don't check it. So something to think about if you're listening to this.
Yeah. And another thing is just keep some 409 cleaner, something like that, inside the unit. And it's a good time to wipe down the ductwork, make the unit look new, maybe grab a little thumb gum with you. You know what I'm saying? Put a little thumb gum on it. Just tighten it up, and maybe make the tape a little bit straighter. Just, you might seem like you're wasting some time. Here's the deal, dude. So what if you are, So what if you're making that thing look beautiful and clean and nice and neat, or you're redoing, a little something for nothing, when that husband comes home from work and he, looks at the AC, he's going to be like, dang, they actually did something, WD-40 smells like work. You know what I mean? WD-40 something. I don't know what can we WD-40 go? I don't know.
I had the guys use AC Shine inside, but warning, if you clean inside, make sure that it's off and everything dries because it's flammable. But to Ryan's point, I'm going to take this two different ways. And I actually said this in this service meeting earlier this morning. When customers come down, they may not understand all of the technical stuff you did inside. But when they come down and they see their furnace shining, you know, when they know like, oh man, where's all those brown spots that were on top of it? Or where's all that dust that was all over here? They're going to see it's clean. In their mind, that's perceived value. That's what you want. They're going to be like, oh, damn, like, yeah. And you could tell them, like, hey, I know this doesn't help the function, but, you know, I wanted to make sure this thing looked good for you guys, and I don't want this to be an eyesore. And they're going to be like, oh, my God, thank you so much. It looks amazing. It means something to them. And the other thing, yes, Rookie, I didn't even see that. Yes, they do wax it. Well, the AC shine is a form of wax, but we don't wax it. But you can do that outside, though. The other thing about little things that we do, like tightening wires, checking capacitors, cleaning flame sensors, it seems like it's not important to us because we do this every day. But even when you have to present something bad to a homeowner, all that stuff that you just did that is covered under their plan, you need to tell them, hey, I did A, B, C, D, E, but guess what? It's okay. All that's covered in your plan. I took care of that for you today, and there's no cost for that. You just added value on what you were doing. I always say this, guys, like, and I know people hate the sales. That's why I like using technical ability and communication. You could be the best tech in the world, but if you can't communicate to the customer, they're never going to understand how good you are as a tech. The overall experience is not going to be great. So just realize that you have to be able to communicate. We are in customer service, whether you like it or not. If you're a technician, you're a customer service rep who happens to use tools. That's just the truth of it.
Yeah, and it's a shame because I've seen guys over the years, they come in and they're really great, but customers don't know they're really great unless there's a problem. And then you get praised for fixing the problems, and then boom, you become the problem guy. And you're like, man, everywhere I go, I become the warranty tech or the problem guy. It's like, well, you're really smart, but you really stink at communicating. And here's one thing I did being a technician that made me a better communicator. I walked in and I didn't put shoe covers on. I took my shoes off because I always walked in the house and I always felt like I'm at Miss Kim's. And Miss Kim's was my best friend's house, right? So I walked into the home and I said, I'm walking into my best friend's house and I'm taking my shoes off because that's what you do when you go over your best friend's house.
My people's thinking, bro, I can't be taking shoes off.
Well, get some things, man. You have no problem talking to anybody. Trust me. Mr. Podcast of the Year.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What? Hey, can you pass me that? What is that over there? So yeah, I mean, you know, that's one thing that helped me be a better communicator was taking my shoes off and saying I'm at a friend's house, and these people are happy to have me in their home, and maybe they want to get to know me. And you know how it is talking to your friends' parents. It's like, you know, they're curious about who you are. And I don't really think it's different between a customer and a technician. But when you go down there and you're down there for an hour and you're tightening every little wire and you're restripping all the spades and you come back up and you're like, oh, it's good. You know, as a parent, if I had my son's friend down there and they just came back up and we're like, oh, yeah, it's good. I'll be like, man, I didn't get to know that guy, you know? So then what's the difference between him and a blue shirt versus the other guy comes in an orange shirt? Who cares? So if you have a tough time communicating, my encouragement is take your shoes off and act like you're at your friend's mom's house and talk to them like that's what they are and see what happens.
At the minimum,
and watch you stop being a warranty tech.
Yes. I am not wearing pants right now, just so you know. But
I'm not wearing sleeves.
That's what they asked about my penis. I was like, I'm not wearing a sleeve. Just kidding.
Anyway.
But the other thing, going off of what Ryan just said, another thing is when you go downstairs and you're doing something, I always say this, don't be a ninja. You have to earn the right to offer something to the customer. Even guys that are really good technically, they go down there and they do a very, very good job, but they never, ever, transfer that to the customer. And I heard this the other day, and you hear it all the time, sales is a transfer of belief, but not even just sales, like the communication, it's not trying to sell somebody what they need. What they don't need and being a scumbag. I want you to think about this. It is you being so excited and good at what you do that you transfer your passion to them so that you educate them and they understand. Every time you do a maintenance, you want to leave and you want them to think that you just did the best fucking maintenance ever. And then when you go back and do it, now you just one-upped yourself and did the even better fucking maintenance. You have to make them understand what you're doing. But you have to feel out the customer. Some people like the X's and O's. They like the technical stuff. Some people don't give a fuck about that. So you have to know how to interact with that person. And that's half the battle. It really is. I think some people, and I know some of you, I'm going to get backlash for this, but I think some people worry about the X and the O's, the technical stuff, too much. I think some of that stuff, people get lost in it. It's not a bad thing to be a really smart guy, to be really technical and know all that stuff. But especially in residential, a lot of times you don't need 90% of that shit in your day-to-day routine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can be as technical as you want to be, and if you fail to communicate, I mean, you fail in residential. Commercial is another beast, but I really think that if you're at a company where you're like, that's just not the vibe, or because most company the vibe is just go in there, change the filter, put bleach in the drain, and leave. And if that's the vibe, that's fine. But if you're also living in like an area you don't want to be living in and you wish you could just take the next step, then at your current company, go get a $3,000 ticket once, twice a week. Go sell some stuff, go be able to be a better communicator. And then you have that track record and you can bring it to another company that actually pays you for doing that kind of stuff and say, hey, I honestly got a $3,000 ticket, or this is how I honestly got an $1,800 ticket, something like that. My favorite customer ever was a $3,000 maintenance ticket. $3,000, really on demand calls, I don't sell $3,000 demand calls. Most of the time, it will go back to my favorite customer that has ever been the most happy with me that I felt was a $3,000 maintenance. And I just walked in there and the dude had another company come in the year prior. We came out, opened his panel up, and there was a ton of growth in there. And I said, hey, do you have, some bleach? You see the growth that's happening in here. I want to take a paper towel and get it all wiped up for you. It's on the data plate and everything. And he's like, oh, is that mold? And I was like, oh, it's not mold. It's just growth. It happens. It's a cold, dark, damp place. But let me get that bleach and just tighten it up real quick. And that's what I did. And then I said, hey, just so you know, there's a way to prevent that. Or do you want to know more about that? I asked for permission. He said, yes, please. And I said, you can get a UV bulb, you can get a duct cleaning, and your AC. And I took a picture of the A coil. I was like, hey, and the A coil is pretty packed. So you can get that done as well. It'll be $3,000 for a UV bulb, duct cleaning, and indoor and outdoor coil cleaning. And I had pictures, showed him it all. I asked him permission if he wanted solutions to not having the growth happen again. I never used the word mold. And he was so happy. And then he called his wife and was like, hey, I'm spending $3,000 on this. This is what's wrong. And she was like, oh, really? Do we have to spend that money? And he was like, oh, it's fine. I really want to get it done. And she was like, okay, sounds good. And that was like their conversation. And I was not even in a really good part of town. I was up to 695. about 20 miles off Liberty Road. Like, I wasn't in a good area.
Yeah. It's funny.
And
And
I'm so happy.
Neil put a good point. It's not mold until it's tested positive. Don't get yourself caught up telling somebody something's mold, thinking you're going to scare them. I don't think anybody in here, a lot of the guys that come in here, I know you guys are good guys and wouldn't do that, but people will get themselves hemmed up because you tell the wrong person that, and your company is going to be getting called and they're going to be like, what the fuck? This guy said I had fucking mold. Don't do that. Be like, I don't know what it is.
I didn't say it's
bacterial growth, microbial growth.
Yeah, exactly. Microbial growth. Yeah, I can't see microbial that well, so I say, hey, you got a little bit of growth in here. It happens all the time. Let me just get a little bit of bleach. I'll kill it and get rid of it all at the same time. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, Chris, C. Young HVAC, he said one UV ain't going to cut it, Krusty. Need two. But hey, that's your professional opinion. You say whatever, it needs to be. I don't know if some of you have heard not to.
Good.
What's that?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, but like some people, when you take, especially in residential, when you take your temperature rise, that you should be taking that 6 feet away. I know we can't always do that the way house designed, but you shouldn't be, right above the coil. You should be taking that a little further away. And I also think a lot of people, if you have that range and it says 40 to 70, that should be in the middle. Okay. If we're 40 to 70, it should be 55. If it's too low, something's going on. If it's too high, something's going on. You need to investigate. All right. If it's too low, did I already check my gas pressure? Is my gas pressure too low? Is my fan speed too high? If you can adjust it. If it's too high, is my gas pressure too high? Is my gas pressure too low? Too high. Too low. You know what I mean? I'm getting mixed up, but you guys get what I'm saying. Take that avenue to look and see what's going on, because there's so many people out here that don't install things properly. So we can't assume that somebody else did it. And the other thing is, and maybe even somebody you work with, that they are a really good installer or a really good tech. Everybody has bad days. All right. Maybe it's a day that their wife's calling them bitching about, found a condom in your wall yesterday. What the fuck were you doing? We don't even use, you know what I mean? Like something stupid, like something that got their mind out of the game. And maybe the day they did that maintenance or that service call, they weren't at the top of their game. So I want that to be something that sticks. And whoever listens to this podcast or watches it, don't assume somebody else did something. Do it. All right. If you didn't do it, then assume it wasn't done. That's the only thing you can assume. And I can honestly say this, and I know Ryan is, will understand when I say this, and probably the same way. I don't think that I was ever some great technician. I don't. I think that I was above average technically. I was a good communicator, but I really care for other people. I like helping other people. So when I saw that people were digging it and they liked the help, they liked the education, I would feed into it. It would make me happy. And then when I could leave knowing that I did a really good job, that those people really appreciated what I did for them, I was leaving with $3,000, $4,000 tickets, and my boss was giving me attaboys and I was making more money. To me, it was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. I loved going to work every day. I love what I did. And I get it. Communication isn't easy for some people, but don't forget that that's, half the battle in what we do every day. Hold on. Outlaw HVAC.
I want my old service manager to come on here so you guys can just talk about, because you asked me the other day, you were like, were you a good employee? And I was like, I don't know, man. You're going to have to ask JP, dog.
Yeah. I need to talk to JP. We're going to find out some secrets, especially the one story you were talking about. Outlaw said, do you have any tips on how to explain Bluon to my manager to get our techs on board with it? Yeah, bro. Like what you have to tell them is it is free. It doesn't cost your company anything to use it. So what I would find out is what supply houses that you use in your area and see if they are connected with Bluon. There's a lot of big ones out there, like the Johnstones, R.E. Michaels, Ferguson. That's our ones local that I know, but there's a lot of them getting added constantly. And as long as they're on there, each technician can have an account. You're going to buy your parts. It's going to go on the same account that you normally would. And then it unlocks all that access. And the more you buy parts, then you get tech support for free. So it's really that simple. If you want, man, email me, hvacuncensored@gmail.com. I'll help. I'll email your fucking boss, whatever you want. Like, it's really, really awesome. Destiny in our office, the one that I told you who won the money from, you know, the little wheel they sent her. She won like $300 or something like that in one day. She uses it to order parts for us sometimes, especially when she needs to get quotes on special items, because the local Johnstone even told her that that's easier for them because Bluon does all the hard work for them. Finds the exact motor and gives them the number to order. She has like $600-700 in there that she can get gift cards that she made just by doing her fucking job. Like, it's easy, man. You can make money off of getting parts that your boss is paying for. You know what I mean? Like, it's a no-brainer. That's why I don't understand when some people like make snide comments when I bring up Bluon and stuff. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't cost your boss any more money. I'm so happy that she's got a couple $100 extra for using a platform. Like, that's what the industry needs, is more of a collaboration on like, how do we all win, and that we can all win, and it is totally possible for all of us to win. And Bluon helps make that happen. And you know, if you're scared because it's a little bit techie, well, guess what? Your boss, your manager, doesn't have to be the tech to figure it out. I don't know how to use Bluon at all, but Destiny does. And guess what? She made $300 bucks. Great. We're all winning here. And I know that we got the parts faster we needed, because it's like, hey, I need this flame sensor. Well, this flame sensor is in 3 other brands as well. And the closest one that has it in stock is here. And you're like, great. Cool. Well, it looks like I'm going to Ream to go get the exact same flame sensor that's in this Lennox. Boom, boom, done. You know?
Yep. It gives you all that cross-reference stuff. It sucks that your local Johnstone's, our local Johnstone's awesome. Granted, the manager of that Johnstone is awesome, Berman, and we have a really good relationship. Berman actually might come on and talk about the other side and how he's loved Bluon from running a supply house side of it. But yeah, our Johnstone's awesome. Granted, they're not owned by the corporate. They're like what do they call it again? The Wallace Group. So there's some of them in PA and a couple of different places. They're owned by a different owner. So they're not like the corporate. So I don't know, maybe that makes a difference. What's the other question I saw? Let me see. Damn, I just saw a question that somebody else asked. Oh, no, it wasn't a question. Outlaw says, yes, all the ones.
Yeah, we wouldn't use.
Oh, switching to Service Titan. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm going to be honest, man. One of my new sponsors, and I'm glad Ryan's on here for this because he will vouch for it. I used to love Service Titan, and I used to shit on House Call Pro. One of the first things that I said when I came over here is we have to dump that shit. We have to leave. We have to go to Service Titan. And House Call Pro has proved me wrong, man. They really, really have. They proved me wrong. They keep changing things, and they've been awesome. That's why, if you guys notice, I was representing that Field Pulse company a little while ago. Awesome people. I think it's a really decent software too, but we don't use it. So I can't. You guys know I'm never going to promote something that I can't do it with 100% honesty. So me and House Call Pro have been in talks for probably 2 months now, trying to finalize this deal. But they're probably going to become my next big sponsor. And I have to say that it means a lot to me because I believe in them. They have done wonders for us. They have grown so much. in the last couple of years since I started at Beltway that I have to put my foot in my mouth. And they proved me wrong 100%.
Yeah, House Call Pro is great. They've come a long way in the last however many years we've been in business, because I pretty much did paper tickets for all of 3 months. And then I was like, I saw a sign for House Call Pro and I was like, oh, it's $300 a month. Sure. I might as well. And it really evolved over time. It went from being super simplistic to now it does a lot, and it does what you need it to do. I think it's good up for 10 million, and I bet you with the roadmap that they have that you can get above that. There are guys on it that are doing 15, 20 million. I've met with those owners to see how they do it. They do have an amazing office staff, which is not what everyone's blessed with. And we are blessed with an amazing office staff. All of the ladies in the office absolutely kill it. 100%. That's always been my main resource, is the office, because that is the face of the company and that is the end of the company. They catch things coming in. They're at the bottom of the hill going out. So, but the guys that I've seen that have these big companies, they're on a whole nother level when it comes to office organizations and tags out the yang. And this is how we do this, and this. And it becomes a lot. And one thing with Service Titan too, I don't know. I shouldn't say anything bad about Service Titan. I don't want to get a cease and assist letter at my door.
Just text me, say it.
And some guys are still going on about Johnstone too. And, John Stone and United and these, there's another one. It's Air something. Airco.
They're actually owned by the same people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All three of them?
No.
Or Airco's owned by
United and Airco are technically owned by the same. They're two separate entities, but they're owned by the same company.
Yeah. Everything boils down to the salesman you have. I really believe that. It doesn't matter, we're currently a Lennox dealer, and you can be a Lennox dealer with this salesman versus this salesman, and this salesman could kill it and does so much for you and make sure you get the parts you need and everything else. And then this other salesman is like terrible and he just doesn't get you anything and he never answers and he's always busy. And it really matters about that relationship. So because of Berman, John Stone is amazing. If Berman went out the window, I don't think we'd really do a lot with them.
No. Once again, it is relationships.
Yeah. Everything's built out on relationships. Bluon, everyone can win, and House Call Pro. House Call Pro is also allowing a lot of people to win too, and I'm excited for what they have to come and how far they have came. I think the one downfall House Call Pro has is their lack of offering stuff. It's very, very manual on how you have to offer things. And there's external services that cost all this money, or you can just have your guys do it too. It's that's really the only thing House Call Pro, for me, that's what's missing. They come out with a bunch of features that I just simply don't care about. But
yeah, they have a bunch of add-ons that you can add, CompanyCam. They have one that's called On Call Air or something, that is like a presentation software for when you sell systems. But like he said, they're add-ons. You have to pay extra for them. Granted, even with those add-ons, it's probably still it is way cheaper than Service Titan. So Service Titan and some of these other ones included, but it's also what you're paying to get it. I mean, for what we pay for the whole company on House Call Pro would probably cover 2, maybe 3 users in Service Titan.
And I'm trying to figure it out here. I just think if you're going to pay all that money for Service Titan, the onboarding should be flawless, and it's not. From what I heard, I don't know if that's true or not, so don't fact check me on that. And then also, like, I talked to the accountant one time, and he's like, "Hey, I advocate for House Call Pro because when these guys are breaking their necks trying to make a profit, especially in a recession, and they're paying $5,000 a month for a software, I'm like, what are you doing? You're paying $5,000 to $8,000 for a software every single month when House Call Pro is around $1,000, maybe even a little bit less, depending if you're smaller. Like, is it really going to pull in $4,000 or $5,000 more for you? And that's what he talks about.
Yeah. It's and especially when I won't say these people's name, but friends of ours who own big $15-20 million companies who, some of the workarounds that we have, when there's like other sheets to track things, and then we see these guys who are bigger than us using Service Titan, which I would assume includes those things, and they're still using the same kind of sheets that we are, is like, oh, well, what the fuck? I thought that's one of the extra features. So, but then a lot of people will fight you tooth and nail and say that means that you're just not using it properly and you're not, doing it. So, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth because, who knows? A couple of years from now, when we're a $20 million company, we might be like, Service Titan fucking rocks. So, and I'll be trying to get them to sponsor me. So, got to be careful with what I say. But so the whole point of me saying that wasn't to put down Service Titan. It was to, praise House Call Pro because I used to be the first one to shit on them and I was wrong. So I'm a man enough to admit when I was wrong. So it is what it is.
There you go. You cleaning a flame sensor with $1 bill or some sandpaper. They also got this new thing. Jimmy's got it. And I was like, this thing doesn't work at all. But, it's like a little red thing, and you have sex with the igniter or the flame sensor for a little bit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it works. I mean, I don't think it's needed, but it works.
Yeah, I've always been a $1 bill guy, and my favorite is when you do the no heat call and all it is the flame sensor, and you ask for $100 and you clean it off, and then you stick the 100 in your pocket and you put it all back together, and he's like, huh. So that's always been my favorite.
And I think Jimmy only has that because speaking of how awesome Berman is, he gave us a bunch of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's why a bunch of guys have them and I gave them away.
Did I get one, man? What's up? All my tools got stolen?
Yeah, well, this is actually was a little while ago. But
before my tools got stolen?
Yeah, so we can get you one. Yeah, with some prick broke into fucking the van that Ryan was using and stole all his shit. Fucking thieves. Hope he gets gonorrhea, corona, falls on his face, and then he wakes up and his fucking penis falls off. I hate thieves.
Yeah.
Ryan, a small piece of half copper behind the brush keeps the brush from sliding in place. Ryan or Brian? I'm not sure what comment he was talking to, but
in all caps, so you didn't read it right. Ryan, a small piece of half-inch copper behind the brush.
Rona Rhea. All right, so let's go in here. What team are you? Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita, fucking, Ryobi, fucking Harry homeowner buying it's the green one, man. It's the lithium ion. No. You still can't bring that out. Don't be a pussy with fucking Ryobi tools in your tool bag. I'm sorry.
Hey, man, have you seen the price of tools? Because when you got to buy it all at once, Ryobi's looking pretty nice. All right.
Oh, man, we got a bunch of DeWalters in here. There we go. There's my Team Red people.
Yeah, I would not do DeWalt because it's black and yellow. That is straight up the reason why I've never wanted to do DeWalt. You know why? Because the Ravens, baby.
Yeah. Baltimore, huh?
Go.
Can't be doing no black and yellow here.
Let's go.
That's the only two that I would ever say, though. Yeah, Wiz Khalifa, black and yellow. That's why I don't like him. Because of that song. But Yeah, I've always, and I get it. Those DeWalt and Milwaukee are two brands that obviously you can stay with, and once you get into one and you start buying things, you can use the batteries. It doesn't make sense to buy another. That's all I was. I
Were you
got
ever
so
on the
deep.
bus?
What's that?
Were you ever on the bus and the guy, like the kid in the Steelers jersey, was like, "You're only a Ravens fan because your dad's a Ravens fan," and you're like, "Yeah, buddy, that's kind of how that works." I don't know, and you're
Yeah.
like, "I also
Oh,
live 10 minutes outside of Baltimore, so."
yeah, exactly. I live in Baltimore. What's your excuse, asshole?
Yeah, dude, heated arguments on the bus between black and yellow and purple. Let me tell you.
Outlaw HVAC said Ryobi is going to switch to purple and black, and Ryan will scoop him up.
Oh, dog! If that happened, I'm about it.
He definitely would.
Yeah, there would be no. I'd make my life's mission to just tell everyone to buy these tools. I love the tool videos like you see when you're scrolling reels and stuff. That is like, this is the DeWalt extra large, blah blah blah, and this is the Milwaukee large drill. We're going to see which one's better, and it's like clearly the DeWalt wins, but it's got a battery on it like this, and the Milwaukee one's got a battery on it like this, and you're like, all right, dog, come on. Or they'll do like, I don't know what the fuel version is of DeWalt, because I don't have anything against it. All right. But I'm not that kind of guy. All right.
There goes my fucking DeWalt sponsorship. Jesus Christ, you're fucking me tonight, man. That is funny though, when they put two together that they're not even equal.
That part was so wet. Yeah, exactly. What's the DeWalt version that's equal to fuel?
I don't know. Jason, fuck the Patriots, go Bills. You DeWalt guys, Milwaukee has the fuel. What is DeWalt's version of that? Do they have a version of that?
Flex? Is it Flex?
Yeah, I think you might be right. Flex. I think that is it.
Yeah, so they'll have like the standard Milwaukee drill and a Flex DeWalt, and then they'll do it. Yeah, and they'll be like, oh,
yeah. I got a 45 volt Milwaukee, and I got this 12 volt DeWalt. We're gonna see which one wins.
Oh, yeah, I'm not that impressed with my DeWalt leaf blower, but other than that, or my Milwaukee leaf blower. Other than that, I've been really happy with all my. When I was doing install, me and Joe. Were you ever here when Joe was here?
No.
Oh,
but
man,
hey, I'm sorry. I got to say this real fast. Touche to Tom. When we were asking what is DeWalt's version, he said the economy version.
Economy version.
Oh, I got to put you on the screen. That deserves to be highlighted. There we go. Got to give you some love for that, Tom. But when Joe was here, you were doing
yeah. When Joe was here, Milwaukee has the copper cutter, and I didn't know what it was called. So I was like, "Hey, Joe, can you pass me the near?" And dude, he just reached in his tool bag and handed it right to me, and I was like, "Boom!" And then from then on, we didn't call tools the name; we just made the sound they make. So it was like, "Can you pass me the?" And me and Joe had a lot of fun, but Joe called me on a Friday and was like, "Hey, Ryan, I quit," and I was like, damn it. All right, man.
What up, Zeke?
Zeke. I asked my wife if she wanted to name her son Zeke. She said no. I was like, I like that name. Zeke, Elliot, and Dean. That's the three names that I liked. She wants to name her son Reed if we have a boy. My wife's going to have a baby in March. But anyways, yeah, Joe quit on a Friday. Bastard. There's nothing. I mean, good for her. She's, making a baby, I had 3-minute interaction, So I made out on the deal, So.
That's funny. I'm trying to find this one. It's like, Never mind. I was gonna make it sound like I was talking over an intercom inside of Walmart, but I'll stop.
Oh, that's dope, man. You got some setup over there.
Yeah.
Got the voice disguiser so I can call your house and be like, fuck your mother.
Okay.
Fuck you, man. Don't be calling me saying all this rude shit. That's so fucked up. Now I'm all scared. My pussy's wet. I'm just kidding.
Jesus Christ, I'm getting way off topic here. Stop pressing buttons, Gil. Oh, thanks, Jason. Thanks for bringing that up, bro. Yeah, we know the fucking Orioles got smoked. Jesus.
Bad day. Bad.
Yeah,
that was a bad week.
they definitely got smoked, man. It was rough.
I didn't even read we might get Devontae Adams though on the Ravens. We'll see what happens. I don't know what they would have to do to get him. You know, is that a first round pick given up? I don't know. No,
you can do a second round pick. Second round pick
and sending who? Who we sending over?
You could probably just get him for a second round pick if he don't want to be there. They take it. And the good thing is if God forbid he walks, we'd get a third round compensatory pick. The Ravens are smart. They know what they're doing.
If we get him. I mean, you know, Lamar has actually been one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. One of, not the, but one of. But they can't catch balls to save their lives. So whatever. If Marlon Humphrey wants to come on the podcast, just, you know, come on, buddy. We'll talk to you. You know, we're not too big for you, buddy. All right. We get it. He won podcaster of the year, but we can have you on. You will make it.
How many fucking awards you got, Marlon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to be honest, when it comes to the Orioles, it sucked. Did I think they were going to go to the World Series? Honestly, I didn't. I didn't think they were going to get swept. I mean, I'll be honest. But I know the Rangers, when they're on, those guys can fucking mash, and we can see they're fucking smoking people. Ryan's camera died.
Oh, did it really?
Yep.
Well, we're probably getting close to time then.
Yeah, we are.
This is your show. We can keep going.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just keep you. You can be that. Here, I'll go back to the camera where it's just me. Make sure it doesn't mute you though. Hold on. I'll unmute you. So here, we'll go back to the other one. Hold on a second. Mute. There we go. There you go. Yeah, we're gonna close this out in a second. But for us, the Orioles have sucked so long. Nobody thought that they were gonna be as good as they were this year. So the fact that they won the AL East and, you know, their window is just beginning. So I'm cool with it. I agree. I would like to see the Rangers win. And I would probably say the Rangers. I'm sorry, I'm not really rooting for the Phillies, even though I think it's going to be the Rangers-Phillies. But yeah, RO's got waxed. It is what it is. But this is the first time in a long time that they've been fucking relevant. Ryan's pro rainbow people now. When you went off, it was like the rainbow thing on the screen. What? Can't hear you. No, come on, rookie. Jesus Christ.
What it do?
There he is.
Maybe.
Who does know? I need to make some money on the O's.
I know. I felt like, I mean, I felt like, you know, the guy at the party who's like, oh, who plays for Baltimore again? The Ravens? Oh, yeah. How are they doing? Oh, they might go to the Super Bowl. Oh, really? I have to get tickets. That was me, but the Orioles. I don't know much about. I don't know much about baseball. I don't follow it that much. But if they went to the World Series, I was totally going to like buy the cheapest ticket just to say I went to the World Series. Who knows? I might like baseball one day.
Yeah, I almost bought tickets to the Sunday home game that was here, but when it was just me and my son, and it was like $480 for 2 tickets, I just couldn't press the button, and then we ended up getting smashed. So it was better off I didn't go. But Ravens Lions is going to be a good game this week. I'm gonna let my son have the tickets. I don't feel like going.
The Ravens are slated to win, so
it's gonna be a good game.
Think about that while you're on a maintenance. You know, when you're on a maintenance, dog. Fill that fantasy lineup, baby. You should be number 1 in all your leagues. Tell him, if Ryan at Beltway lets his guys do it, dude, we're play for money, right? That's what you can do to make money on a maintenance. Set your lineup. Make sure you win. Okay? Start
Tom
making
said,
trades.
When you went off, he said, I thought Ryan was making a political statement. I guess when it was the rainbow thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ralphie May owns the joke, man. He's just, rest in peace, that guy. But he's like, man, they took my flag. I like the rainbow flag. I like all the colors. Whatever.
Don't think about the Ravens at all at any time.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Tom? Let me guess. You Steelers, Bengals? Are you a fan of an AFC North team by any chance?
I'm telling you, get into fantasy, brother. Start making real money on maintenances. Set that lineup. All right.
Jared Goff has looked really good this year. And yes, Camden Yards is one of the best stadiums in the MLB.
I would be sad if I was a Pats fan too. I mean, they're tanking because they want this college kid, I'm assuming. And they brought up that guy from the practice squad. So I've always been a Tom Brady fan. I love that guy.
Yeah, Tom Brady's the GOAT. That you can't.
Even when everyone hated him, I loved him.
Yeah, but the Patriots, you guys had so much glory time that you guys can eat that shit sandwich for a couple years, for Christ's sakes. All right, so, yeah. He said, "Who said he rid of Brady? Happy days." Who said we girls rid?
Oh, dude, do you think there's a technician out there doing OnlyFans on maintenances? It was probably that guy that said he spent 2 hours on a maintenance. That's a little too long, dude. That's a little suspect.
Yeah, they're doing commercial.
Dude, he's putting pictures of his feet on the furnace and sending them out.
That's how you make money.
You sick?
OnlyFans.
Stop putting feet on furnaces. Stop it.
Oh God! Now we got the Bills and Jason's a Bills fan going back and forth with the Pats fans. He said, "Fuck the Patriots." Pat Tree cheats.
Yeah, dude, we get it. The balls were deflated. My balls are a little deflated. It makes everything a little bit better. All right, it was a good game. Get over it.
Outlaw said you found my OnlyFans. Damn it.
Oh, is your OnlyFans outlaw HVAC? Is that why you're an outlaw? Because you're doing illegal shit in people's basement?
Never shows his face.
You're like, oh, I take my shoes off every time, Ryan.
I'm making extra $1,500 a week just fucking jacking off on an AC, man. This shit's fucking.
Whoa, man.
I meant putting my feet. Sorry.
Yeah, dude, we ain't ejaculating in people's units, dude.
$1,500 a week to make it work. Fucking. I'm teabagging the filters. I knew once you start these guys going, you're gonna say something.
Dude, have you ever had to piss and you thought about just pissing in the customer's drain? Straight up. Come on, dog. You thought about it.
Yeah, I definitely have.
Here's the thing. Have you ever pissed in someone's sump pump before?
I 100% have. I'm not even gonna lie. There was a house in Baltimore City that this basement was fucking gross. There was like dog shit on the floor, and you had to go up in this nasty house to the bathroom being on the top floor. I may or may not have just pissed in the corner. Because I think it looks like a dog did it 400 times. So, Jason, I'm not gonna lie. I've pissed in sumps and slop sinks. Speaking of slop sinks,
definitely pissed in slop sinks.
Yeah, I will never forget the time that I fucking blew the fucking thing out. It's the drain, and it went around and went into the slop sink, and something happened where it turned, and I blew all that gunk right in the fucking guy's face. And I look over, and he's got like that snot from the drain, and he's just like, What happened? I was like, damn, dude, I'm so sorry. I emptied my Pantab bottle and had to go. Oh God, that's funny. Sometimes Sid Beltway is an interesting company. Yes, we are, man. We're fucking different. We're different. You gotta love going to work every day, man. And when you do stuff like that, and you actually give a shit, and people aren't just numbers. All the
like what? Just in sump pumps?
Yeah, shit happens. As long as you're not pooping in them. What the fuck? Don't drink yellow water bottles. Yeah, don't do that. Or be like the guy that worked for me at Supreme and used to shit in the back of his truck when there was a perfectly good bathroom inside.
They used to call me rock ass when I was a kid.
What?
It's a long story.
The worst is having to go in the basement with a bathroom and see the toilet with mold growing on it. Yeah.
We weren't allowed to use the bathroom at my place I worked at. And I had to piss in bottles left and right, dude. That was so annoying. And then the guy I worked with, his name was Gary. We were just in some open-ass parking lot, and he just opened his driver door and started pissing. And he was like, if they don't want me pissing, I'm not pissing in no bottle. If they don't want me pissing in the houses, I'm pissing on someone's driveway.
I don't blame him. Fuck that. I think that's ignorant when fucking, I could imagine a company saying that. But if when a person says no, fuck that.
Yeah. I mean, talk about a reactive. Anyway. Yeah. But dude, I used to be on $4.95 pissing in bottles and shit. Like, I gotta fit my whole pecker in that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, stop. Don't be that fucking one helper we had. And he was talking about pissing, and he was like, yeah, man, I just stick it inside.
No, it's this one right here, I swear.
He had to go piss in a bottle, and we were like, yeah, don't piss on your hands. And he was like, no, man. He's like, I don't ever get any drippage. He's like, I just stick my head in the bottle. We were like, what? And he was like, yeah, I just stick my head in the bottle. We were like a Gatorade bottle? He was like, no, like a Coke bottle. And we were like,
I'll be on $4.90. Yeah.
Just a tip? And he was like, no. We're like, oh, all right. He didn't get why we were asking questions. Like, I don't understand what these guys mean. We're like, damn, bro, no wonder your girl left you.
Damn. Nah, dude, being on $4.95 with a fucking Coke can, a can, or an Arizona sweet tea can was the best. Dude, you know what I mean? Not trying to hit a bump, You
gotta be a fucking sharpshooter. That's dangerous. You just get a Purple Heart.
I pissed in a bottle every day. Every day I had to piss in a bottle. Every single day.
Yeah, that's fucking...
I'd have to piss. I was late all the time. So I had to piss in a bottle on the way to my first call. All the time. $4.95. Just, sometimes I get a little drip, you know what I mean? But whatever, no one's done laundry in 5 days anyway. I'm a single dude, a little pipe dope, a little bit of piss. I'm ready to go. Let me sell you a fucking furnace. You ready, baby? A little wax on it,
Delta force of fucking pissing, man. You got to have you got to be a sniper to fucking hit a Coke.
I don't know. I don't think I could do it anymore. I really don't. But I would. I mean, I know this is an audio podcast, but I would lean over and I would start driving with my left foot, and I'd lean, you know what I'm saying? And my penis would dip into, not in, but near, and.
Yes, it is audio, but we are live and people are currently watching and they can watch down the road.
They can watch me pissing down the road. And I always wondered, I was like, I don't think the sedans can see my dick, but that truck driver totally just saw my dick. All right. And he understood. That guy, he was like, he's a working kid,
Yeah,
he's a working man. No, I was not. But one time I got called, the office called in, and they were like, hey, are you playing with yourself? And I was like, I know I piss in the truck every day, but this was a morning I didn't piss. And I was like, I took my jacket, I took my hoodie off while driving. I wasn't playing with myself. I don't know. the questions I get and the phone calls you get when you get around that government 495, politician world is insane, dude.
I worked in Virginia one time and got caught on a roof to where I got it was torrential downpour. I was drenched, soaking wringing wet. So the drive home, I literally drove home fucking in my underwear.
And your drawers, bro?
Yeah. And
a little heat on?
We had fucking there was I guess it was a husband and wife truck driver, and she's looking down and you see her going this guy over here ain't got nothing. I'm like, yeah. What's up, bitch?
Yeah, I got a cousin that's a truck driver, and him and his wife are both truck drivers, and they were like, yeah, this was back probably 10, 15 years ago when there wasn't as many regulations, and they were like, oh, we would swap seats while driving a fully loaded tractor trailer. And I'm like, you guys are the reason people die. I mean, just logistically think about that. I mean, they're both big people. You know what I mean? Just while the truck is driving. Oh, sorry.
Martha, get your titty off my shoulder.
Yeah, I had an invention one time. I was like, when you come in from the rain and you're in your car, what if your car had a dehumidify feature so it just sucked up all the moisture from you being wet? And the person I was with was like, or you can just turn the fucking heat on, loser. Oh, shit.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Gotta do the mother.
I don't think I cussed that much on the show.
Huh?
But always do an honest job. You can be honest. You can do a good job. We hit a record of reviews this week. We got 30 reviews this week. There's a lot of things you can do to make your company better, to make you better.
What's this button do?
I gotta get home.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Thank you for coming on, brother. I will see you tomorrow.
See you, man.
See you, buddy. Ah, man. Well, that was fun as always. Yes, Jason, I will send you a link to schedule, my man. Any of you other guys, man, if you want to come on and bullshit, I would love to have you guys on, man. That's why I started doing this. I wanted to talk to everyday blue collar people out there, and I get so many people reaching out, wanting to come on, different companies. And some of them I like to do because I like for you guys to hear it. If you choose to use it, that's totally up to you. But, I'm trying to slow down with some of these because, to be honest, some of them are fun. Some of them are not fun. So we'll see. Thank you, Brian. Have a good night, my man. I appreciate you. But guys, thank you all so much for being here live. I really do appreciate you guys coming here. I know the audio podcast is what pays the bills, but I love that some of you come here live and just interact and bullshit. It's always a good time, especially these solo shows or, when me and Ryan do it. It's good to have you guys to interact with. I enjoy it. So if anybody's listening to this, you should come hang out with us live. Like I said, once I move, which my rental house has sold, we closed, got the loot good. So I'm finally in the process of looking for my new house. When I get into the new house and that studio is done, I want to start doing a live stream as well. So that's not going to be a podcast. That's just going to be a hangout, coming on, bullshitting with you guys. You can hop on if you want. So it's dedicated just to having fun with you guys. Because I get it sometimes when I do the podcast and I have a guest, the guest takes my attention and I don't get to talk to you guys sometime. Yeah, party at my house, dude. Seriously, people are welcome. And I'm also going to have a part of the studio that's going to be a set for live podcast for people to come. So it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for everybody to see it. But any of you guys are more than welcome to come. It's going to be a blast. With that being said, let me start to close this out. Obviously, make sure you follow me on all social media sites. I would appreciate it. I do have some YouTube videos coming. They're already edited. They're shot. They're done. I just got to put them out. I'm trying to start putting out some small 10 to 15 minute videos. It's just going to be talking about some basic technical stuff. I'm going to cover individual, like it's going to like capacitor, contactor, some little things. And I've had a lot of people ask for them. I'm just going to start working my way up and just get used to putting out the video content. And then hopefully I can go from there. So we'll see. Also, if there's any podcast topics that you guys would like to hear about, let me know. Message me on social media, email me, HVACuncensored.com. Like, hey, Gil, I'd love for you to talk about this and do a podcast about it. I would definitely love to do that. So let me know. You guys are my customers. So schematic reading. I could make a video on that. That might be a boring podcast, Jason, but I could make a video on that. But hookers and a blow party. I'm down, bro. Don't fucking scare me with a good time. But yeah, let me close this out. Everybody's got to go. We've been here a long time. Guys, remember, be safe out there. We all got somebody to make it home to. Driving, crazy world. You know what I say. We all got somebody to make it home to. Make sure people turn the breakers off, etc. All that kind of stuff. Do the little things. Set yourself apart from the next guy or girl, man. Like, I want all of you to be hungry, motivated people. Don't ever settle in life. Go get whatever the fuck it is that you want. Stay hungry, stay motivated. I want all of you to reach your financial goals, your relationship goals, your personal goals, whatever the fuck it is. I want you to have it and know that you're worth it and you can get it. You just have to keep going. As most of you know, fucking 20 years ago, I was a piece of shit fucking drug addict. Never thought I'd have a pot to piss in. And now I'm where I am now. I thank God every day that I'm still here and doing what I'm doing. So I know if I can do what I did, anybody out there can fucking do anything because I'm nobody special. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. Once again, to end this podcast, my deepest condolences, prayers go out to HVAC chick Jennifer and her family. So please have them in your prayers. Losing a parent is absolutely sucks. So I'm going to end the show on that. Please send your prayers out to them. With that being said, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'll talk to you next week. All right. See you.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored Podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.